All right, cool. We got to just put into the chat, of course. So yeah. So then, of course, then for the year, now from an allocation standpoint, as I talk about the shadow method, we have, again, nobody gets it right all the time, but this year we've got it definitely right. So our biggest holding is MicroStrategy. MicroStrategy is up by 52%. Now, for a person that is thinking about getting into Bitcoin, this is a way to get into Bitcoin but have some more growth because it's the treasury of Bitcoin. Now, me personally, as I talk about all the time, I think Bitcoin is the future. Bitcoin in my personal portfolio is between Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and Solana is more than 60%. So for every $100 I have invested in the market, more than $60 is in cryptocurrency on the market. So yeah, now for clients, we don't do no more than 20% because cryptocurrency is volatile. But anyways, MicroStrategy is a way to get into Bitcoin, not having Bitcoin directly, but it's up by 52% this year. I mean, again, the market's up by 6, it's up by 52. That says it's for itself. Palantir is one of the stocks of the year. It's basically double. Palantir is it's like Lockheed Martin, but with tech. So they provide analysis and data to militaries across the world to basically have a more effective way to fight and have ours money. Our defense in the U.S., we spend most of our money on defense, and Palantir got a huge contract. They're working now with Canada. They're going to get in between the $1.5 to $2.5 billion contract with Canada, and they're actually having negotiations now with the UK. So this stock, not a recommendation, but this stock might triple over the next year. So we definitely was early adopters into this. CleanSpark, which is a mining company, is up by 32%, and Oklo, our fourth largest holding, is up by 188, almost 200%. It almost has 3x this year, and this is tied to President Trump. So President Trump loves nuclear. I don't know why, but that's his opinion. And he gave this company a lot of money to basically refit nuclear power plants. So as they continue to get government money, as they start turning a profit, this stock can easily go up by another 100, 200% over the next 3 years while President Trump's in office. So again, not recommendations, but kind of the stocks that we pick inside that shadow method that I talked about. All right, so that's that. So that's kind of the progress report. But now we're going to talk about the big, beautiful bill. And what are some things we can do? So one of the things in the bill that was passed that we can do is a bonus depreciation reinstatement. So what is bonus depreciation? So bonus depreciation is if we have rental property or we are a business owner, we have equipment that we buy, we can depreciate that equipment by 100%. And depreciation is usually over a 5-year time period. So let's say I buy something, a piece of equipment, it costs $10,000. Typically, the IRS gives that back in depreciation over a 5-year time period. Now I can get it all back in 1 year, which means the first year I just get a very, very large tax deduction. So I can retroactively do 100% bonus depreciation. It applies to vehicles. If you have a car and your car is 51% more business. For real estate agents, anybody here who does real estate, if you're making money or not making money in real estate, this is huge for you guys because in real estate, you're always driving, you're always thinking about real estate. So for anybody doing real estate, this is huge because now next time you buy a car, you can depreciate and get the price of that car back from a tax deduction all in 1 year. This is great. Also renovations. If I have a house and I have some type of side job, even though the side job is not making a lot of money, the renovations I make on my house, not whatever side job I have. Even if I'm an Uber driver, that's a side job. But now, since I'm making changes to my house, right, and I use my house as a home office deduction, which everybody should do. Anybody here that has any type of business, you should be doing the home office deduction. And with the home office deduction now, the renovations, you can actually get some of that back from a tax standpoint, which is just amazing if you use the tax code properly. So it's a huge savings for business owners. You get to write off assets the year that you buy them. And then also it encouraged, they did this to encourage rapid investment. So there's a real example. I had a conversation with a client literally yesterday. They have a rental property. So they work at Johnson & Johnson, which, everybody knows Johnson & Johnson. So they are a W-2 employee, but they have 2 rental properties. So, the majority of their income is working to the time clock. but they do have 2 rental properties. So with one of the rental properties, it was a washer and dryer set that they bought early this year, right? So it was basically for $4,000. Now they were able to depreciate this, but the old rule was they was able to depreciate this over 5 years. So that $4,000 they spent, they get that back from a tax deduction over a 5-year time period. Now with the new rule, we're now able to depreciate that wash and dryer all in 1 year. So from a tax savings standpoint, they're going to get this year an additional $960 tax savings. So before 60%, it would have been over 5 years. And over 5 years, it would have only been $576. So over 5 years, they get $576. But because of the tax bill and how they updated the bonus depreciation, they get all $960 back this year. So for anybody that has a rental property, this is great because now you're able to do things rental-wise and get a huge tax deduction. So if you're anybody that's an advisor or insurance agent that allows us to help them, right, this is something that you want to tell your clients as well, because it allows anybody that has any type of rental property or, again, a side gig and they're doing things at their house, it allows them to use the tax code to their advantage and have just a lot more write-offs. So instead of waiting 5 years to get the full benefit. Questions on the bonus depreciation when it comes to how it works, if you have a question, if you can apply it to your business, or if you are working and you have a side job, if you want to see how you can apply it, you can definitely ask a question and I can answer that before I get to the next one. And you can either put it to the chat or you can just ask. No question with the bonus depreciation? So actually, let's put a 1 in the chat. Who has used the bonus depreciation? Anybody that's a business owner or does real estate, put a 1 in the chat if you have ever used the bonus depreciation when you've done your taxes. Okay. Well, of course, Katrina, we know because you're a tax professional. That's funny. Katrina from Detroit. And I'll get with you today, Katrina. I just got back from my cruise. I know we talked, so they want to get everything all squared away. Bella in the house, yeah, of course, Bella, because you're a financial advisor, right, Bella? If I'm not mistaken. So of course, you better have used the bonus depreciation. Cool. Well, yeah. So very, very important, you guys. The bonus depreciation is a way for you to truly, truly, truly take advantage of the tax code. So for the people that have not put a 1 in the chat, if you have rental property or if you have some type of side gig, side job, even if it's like Schedule C where you're sole proprietorship, you have to take advantage of the bonus depreciation. It is money that the IRS wants to give you. But if you don't take advantage of it, then we're all taxpayers. So we want to make sure you take advantage of it. So you guys can definitely email. Okay, Marvin used it as well. So you guys can email me or ask a question if you have like a particular question about how to use it in your situation. Everybody on this call should be taking advantage of the bonus depreciation. Got to be taking advantage of it. All right, so that's that. Then we have the expansion of the 529 plan. So what a 529 plan is a way that we can put money into an account. It's usually with the mutual fund company. That account grows tax-free. And if we take the money out, as long as it's used for school or college-related activities, it's tax-free. So yeah, there's pros and cons about having a 529 plan. The pros about having a 529 plan, you are able to invest the money and have it grow tax-free. And then when you take it out, you don't pay taxes if it's used for college or educational expenses up to $10,000 K through 12. The cons, because there's pros and cons everything. The cons of a 529 plan is that it's only through mutual fund companies. So like if I want to do a Bitcoin ETF like IBIT, or if I want to do Ethereum or cryptocurrency, if I want to do stocks like Palantir or Microsoft, I can't do that in a mutual fund account. I can buy the mutual fund, but the mutual fund has that stock and 100 other different stocks, and it's not managed like it would be a stock. So historically, the rate of return on the 529 plan is not as high as a regular account if it's managed the same, right? But the thought process is I might not make as much money, but I'm having the money grow tax-free. So, just kind of want to think about that for the 529 plan. But the changes, right? So now from K through 12 private school withdrawal limits. Before, it couldn't be for private school. You would have to do a Coverdale ESA. Now you can put money into a 529 plan, have it grow, take it out, not pay taxes, and use that money to pay for public school activities or private school tuition. Doesn't matter what grade. So that's something. Also homeschooling. Our daughter, homeschooled for 3 years. She's now going back to school this year in the 6th grade. We'll see what happens there. But from a homeschooling standpoint, before, if you homeschooled a child, you couldn't use money from a 529 standpoint. Now you can put money into it and have it grow and take it out.